So the fashion of the future is creativity. The fashion of the future is creativity. And as material costs go up, brands who make clothing will be significantly less and less and less competitive than the secondhand market, because a leather jacket from 50 years ago is higher quality than what you're able to buy today. So then that plays into the fact that if you get a leather jacket that is pre-owned, there's no overhead. That means that person doesn't need to pay for marketing. That person doesn't need to pay for product development. They don't need to pay for factories to be built. The person who's holding a vintage leather jacket versus the company that's holding a brand new leather jacket. The company that's selling you that jacket needs to pay thousands and thousands of employees that don't do anything related to the labor. The jacket itself is made by someone who's making minimum wage at best. The guy who's holding the jacket from 20, 30, 40 years ago, there's a very good chance, especially if it's still here and it's still in good condition and it's on the market, there's a good chance that what that guy is holding is actually a way better material. It was actually made by a company that had a better structure, and basically in every way, shape, and form is a better jacket. Plus, he already got the value out of it, so it's like the value of products in the marketplace are going to get eaten alive by the value of existing products that are in our daily lives. And the fact that they're even in our daily lives is a testament to how valuable of a product that it is. My phone right now is being propped up by a really old vintage military bomber jacket, and it's way better quality than anything I could get at Balenciaga, and it was like maybe $7. And someone probably wore this in the military, like lived an entire, life in it, and then either they passed away or they were getting rid of their stuff, and they end up, it ends up in my hands. And the thing that ends up in my hands, we have this perception, we have this idea that for some reason it's less valuable than something that's new. And that's where I love the work of all these designer brands of, making everything look distressed and look beat up and look not new. It's making stuff that's new uncool, because fashion is a display of creativity. So I envision a future where the more money your outfit costs, the less cool it is. And you can apply that same idea to the future of architecture. Things that are expensive is bad design, bad architecture. The only luxury is time. If a billionaire had one day to live, he would spend $1 billion to stay alive. Time is infinitely valuable, infinitely more valuable than money. And money can't be infinite. It's numbers. Life is infinite. And the future of design and engineering revolves around the ability to deal with the existing materials of the world. So let's say I do want to be a fashion designer and I want to make fashion. Rather than dealing with, factory production, we can manipulate and repurpose and recycle and upcycle different existing clothing. Because if you want to make a suit with shoulder pads and a nice, interior finish and lining and all that, it's going to cost a lot of money. But people used to have to wear suits every single day. So there's millions and millions and millions and millions of suits all throughout the world. You know, if you go buy one of those used secondhand suits, you're basically getting it at almost less than the cost of the material, especially with inflation. So repurposing and reworking, you know, these items that have been deemed unworthy as a result of marketing, like, there's actually so much potential value in dealing with all of these things that are overlooked and actually getting past the idea of production and getting more so into the idea of reduction. Yeah, we need to reduce the amount of labor needed to simply survive. We need to maximize the allowance for potential, maximize the allowance for people to follow their heart, follow their gut, follow what they love, and follow what they feel without being stifled or held back by bills and taxes and lawsuits and all of these different artificial barriers that take away our time and take away our energy and take away our ability to focus on the true spirit that all of us have, that wants to see their family happy, that gets sad when a kid drops their ice cream cone, that feels hope when they see the penguin survive, that feels joy when they look into a child's eyes, that feels excitement in the fourth quarter of a sporting event, that feels pain when seeing how much suffering and trauma and insecurity and lack of resources so many people are experiencing. That liberal disposition to help is correct. However, I believe that the ideals of communism can be achieved within capitalism if we remove all of the ways that capitalism has been corrupted and abstracted and overtaken by oppressive and tyrannical powers that be. We are the world. Today, we live in the ideas of the people of the past. Tomorrow, people will inherit the ideas that we have today. Love